Chapter 3. Life without a father. Perhaps someone was ready to become an adult. But sometimes, the pain itself has to be tied faster than normal. I started life in the city with 2 small suitcases, 1 cherished old clothes, 1 cared for dreams that were about to run out. Strong dormitory, bland food, strangers overflowing. I had to learn to live like a branch leaf, drifting on its own, flapping its wings on its own, without roots, with no one to shelter it. Those first evenings away from home, I often looked at the ceiling and wondered, I don't know what Dad is doing. Does he remember me? But I always automatically tensed my emotions with a cold saying, even if he remembers, he will never say. So what's the point? And so I forgot. I studied well. I was working part-time. I had new friends, new relationships. I started writing as a way to keep myself, but what I wrote never had my father's shadow. In writing assignments, when the teacher asked to write about family, I always avoided it. When I had to describe a loved one, I wrote about Mom. Mom had gone far away, but at least, she left a gentle memory in me. What else? It was a void. Once, during a group therapy session for a life skills class, the instructor, "Who among you has ever felt unloved by your father?" More than half the class raised a hand. I wasn't lighthearted, but I was happy. I didn't want to admit it, to anyone, even to myself. The year I was 22, I graduated from university with honors. Once again, I didn't tell Dad. I just posted a photo wearing my graduation gown on social media. No tag of his name. No thank you line. Success, I thought, was the best way to pay back. I had lived well without him. I hadn't fallen despite the absence of the person who should have been the headline of my early life. But what I wouldn't admit was that no matter how strong I seemed on the outside, at night, I was still a child, still waiting for a congratulatory message from Dad, still wanting someone to proudly call me, son. I never had it, and perhaps, there won't be time. Life just went on. I worked for a media company, stable salary, had a girlfriend, had plans for the future. People looked at me and thought I was the self-made success type. But they didn't know that inside me was the biggest void for what could have filled it. I often had nightmares. In my dreams, I saw myself returning to the old house, standing in front of the person who was turning their back to me. I called him, but he didn't hear. I was trying to run over, but my feet were packed into the ground. I screamed, cried, begged him to turn back, but he just kept walking, getting further away each time. I often woke up startled, armpits of my shirt damp. And even though it was still dark, I couldn't fall back asleep. At times like that, I just wanted to call Dad. Just one call, not to compete, not to apologize either. Just to hear his voice, to know that he was still there. But then I put the phone down again. Ego, self-esteem, and unhealed pain, they all held my hand back. I lived like that, between dreamy nights and seemingly stable days. Until one November evening, it rained. I had just finished my shift, was on my way home, when I received a call from a strange number. A man's voice, slowly. "Hello, are you Mr. Nguyen Van Gun's son?" I stopped. "Yes, it's me. I'm calling from the hospital. Your father had a stroke, is in intensive care. I found your number in his contacts. Your name was saved as Little Guy." I don't remember how I replied. I only remember the rain at that moment pouring down heavier. The streets glittered with the flash of headlights, but I only found a pale gray color, like my own heart at that moment. I stood still for a long time, then sat down on the side of the road. The raindrops mixed with tears, the first tears I cried for my father, after many years of imagining I had stopped hurting because of him.
I will share with you more healing videos, help you feel lighter, more motivated in this life. Please help me have more motivation to make videos by subscribing to the channel, sharing with people who need this video like you. Thank you very much.